Hello everybody, this is Kiyoshi here. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'll be reviewing the Bandai Tamashii Nation Saint Seiya, the Saint Cloth Myth EX series, the beginning Saint Seiya movie figure. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's take a look at the packaging first. We have the standard, Saint Seiya Tamashii Nation's packaging. It's in a, square box. Here we have the product image, Saint Seiya. Here's a little look of the image. Here's the back of the figure, its accessories, the heads, and etc. Here's the other side. Here is a top, Saint Seiya, Pegasus Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac. And here's the bottom, some instructions. I got a Japan version. I bought it straight from Japan, so I got the Japanese version. I got the golden sticker as well as authenticity sticker. Yep, and this is the box. And let's move the box out of the way. And here we have the figures. I got it for, I think, $75, including everything, including tax and everything. It's pretty cheap compared to regular Saint Seiya, Bandai, Saint Seiya, Saint Cloth Myth EX figures. They're usually anywhere from $100 to $200. One of the reasons is because I think people didn't like the movie. They didn't like the idea of having a live action movie and a live action figure, and it didn't receive that well. I think that's one of it. Second is when people had the figure or people bought the figure, they had bad reviews on it. They didn't like it. There's a lot of cons, I think, about it. That's why they drive the market down so much, and that's why the figure was so cheap, which is, I don't mind. I really wanted this version of Pegasus Seiya, Saint Seiya. It's because I forgot the name of this actor though, but I think it's one of a kind. I am a Saint Seiya collector. I collect a lot of the anime version. I think this is the very first film or live action series. I think this might be just the only figure they're going to be releasing in that live action movie universe, because it didn't really receive that well. Honestly, I don't think they're gonna make any other figures based on that movie, nor going to be any sequels to that movie. I don't think so. So this might be just one and only. I think it's very special. Especially it's so cheap. I definitely recommend you picking it up. I mean, I don't think it's bad in terms of the figure wise. I think people just didn't like the design, the concept, the idea behind it. Anyways, here is the booklet. It tells you how to wear, how to put things together. But if you have had your Saint Seiya figures from before, you don't need this. And there are 3 layers to it. The first layer, we have the Saint Seiya figure as well as some of his armors. These are all made out of metal, so quite heavy. And here we have the what is it called, the Zodiac form, the base, which for this figure, the other pro about this figure, I have to tell you, normally if you're a diehard fan, or even myself, I'm not a diehard Saint Seiya collector, but I normally would buy 2 sets of the Saint Seiya figures. Let's say if I'm getting Aris Mu, I'm gonna buy 2 copies of that, because one copy I'm gonna use it as the Zodiac form, and the other one I'm gonna wear the armor as a human, the warrior form. It just looked really cool having 2 side by side with each other. But with this set, I have to tell you this, their Zodiac form, it's so ugly. I mean, that is one of the reasons why people didn't like this set. It's so ugly, it's not worth to buy another set just for the fact keeping a set in the Zodiac form, because that Zodiac form is just so ugly. And yeah, so this is a money saver. Period. Anyways, 3rd layer, we got this golden protective box that's very similar to the anime, where I think they're supposed to wear it to their shoulders, but this is so big. You open it, you can put the Zodiac form in this box for storage purposes. Once again, I find no reason. And here is that little base for the Zodiac form. We'll review that later as I open this. Here's also one little Pegasus Seiya tag, I think for cosplay purposes. Yep, here we have all 3 layers. And all right, I have all these opened up from the packaging. Let's see them one by one. Let's take a look at the figure first. Here is at its base form, looking absolutely weird because it's super skinny. I mean, I don't know. This body looks really funny, you know, with the actual, you know, human face of the actor. I think his name is Makanyu. But the body, it's still like very animated body. It's just really weird, but it will look better and normal once we put all the armors on. In terms of articulation, let's see how. Okay, it's pretty cool, as you can see. They hold up pretty well. That's without the armors. All of these are plastic. I think this is just the regular EX body mode. The shoe portion is made out of metal. The rest is all plastic. Okay. And then this little case, I thought it was metal, but it's actually plastic. You can open it. This is where you store the Zodiac form of the armors. So yeah, this is the box. Pretty cool, pretty decent. It's just plastic. It would have been nice if it's metal. And this is a little name tag on the little tag here. We have Pegasus Seiya's logo here. Here's the back. This is made out of metal. Okay. And the rest of the metal, so these are made out of metal. Okay. These are made out of plastic. These are this is metal and this is plastic. This is metal and this is plastic. Okay, this is metal and this is plastic. This is metal, this is plastic. This is made out of metal. This is made out of metal. This is made out of plastic. This is made out of plastic. And then this is made out of metal. This is made out of metal. This is made out of metal. This is made out of plastic. This is made out of plastic. And all the interchangeable hands. And this little thing for the head. Once you swap the head without the hair, put the helmet on. This is made out of plastic as well. All the hands are made out of plastic. We have, they're pretty similar. We have like a pair of grabbing hands. These ones. This is, I guess, like relaxed hands. I'm not sure. But yeah, they're all very, very similar. But yeah, here are a bunch of hands. They're just similar. Like, there isn't any, like, I guess, like, this is more like a grabbing. This is more like chill. But very similar. Same thing here with the, like, this is more chill. This is like grabbing sort of. And with an extra one, it's like holding some sort of like a stacker or something, but there isn't anything coming with the figure. There is no weapons. So kind of funny to have this hands, but yeah, you got an idea. Yep, these are all of the armor pieces. And I will put them together off camera. Okay, I'm back now with the armors on. The figure looking pretty cool. I mean, I'm not saying that this is an amazing armor compared to the animated, you know, Seiya figures. Those armors are what we grew up with. Those are the significant looking armors. These are really, really stupid looking. You know, don't get me wrong, but it's a cool figure. You know, it has all the features like all the other Seiya figure they've been releasing, or it released from the past. The only difference being this is cheaper, a newer design. That's all. Everything else, all the features are exactly the same. I still think if this is your first Seiya figure, I think give it a go. Since the price is so cheap, it might even go down a bit further, just like 60s. Who knows, right? And like I said, it's one of a kind. You might not like the design of it, but it is one of a kind. This might just be the only, you know, live action figure will ever be made into a, you know, figure form, action figure form. So might not just grab it, you know, because I believe a few years back when they first announced the Omega figures, the Seiya Omega, People didn't like it. The price was so cheap. It was like 40, $50. But nowadays, if you look back to those figures, they're over $100. They're doubled or tripled the price, and sometimes even hard to find. I think time will do all those adjustments for you. Now while it's low and while it's cheap, buy it. Eventually these figures that nobody wants it's going to be a very special figure. That everyone wanted, like a chase figure. Anyways, let's get a closer look. I think this figure is just amazing. It has a good weight to it. There's a lot of metal parts. I do like how they painted the figure. Like I said, once the figure added the armors, it looked all natural and just good looking in general. In terms of gripes, I do have some minor gripes. It's the joints. These are the typical EX molded body. I do wish, I don't know, I don't mind paying extra money, but I wish Tamashii Nations just change all of their base body mold, the joints into metal. Those metal body mold are amazing. They're much more doable, much more heavier. It just overall a much better figure. I don't like the joints because, to be honest with you, the feet, the leg part, it's very heavy with all these parts being metal. And you see the joints here are just made out of plastic joints, like a regular figure. Over time, I am very, very sure it's going to get damaged, especially if you are the person who are not just displaying your figure but playing around with it. I'm very sure sooner or later these joints either going to be broken or you're just going to see stretch mark on the plastic. I already see some stretch mark as I put it on. Like, I try to press really hard. I already see the fragileness of, or how fragile these joints are. So I don't like it. I want my figure to be much more secure in a way, or can stay in this mint condition much longer. And we know from the past Seiya figure that we owned, it's hard. A lot of the figures after a few years, if you have them wearing the armor on, after a few years, the color going to fade out because of whatever weathering, and also your joints. The joints are going to become so loose. Eventually, the figure will not be able to stand up because of that. So that's one thing I don't like about it. But other than that, I think this figure is great. Once again, I'm not talking about the design or the concept behind it or the idea of having a live action film. It's just horrible. I'm talking about this new figure in general. It has all the features exactly like any other Seiya figures. Plus, it's cheaper. Plus, you get actual human face sculpt. Not a face sculpt, like a likeness to the actor McCann. Which, if you're a McCann fan, I think you should get it, And I also think this figure is worth the money for $70. Come on, I think it's really worth the money. Yeah, I do recommend it. To be honest with you, if you are a Seiya fan, like I said, I've mentioned so many times why it's worth to have this figure. Just because everyone hated this figure, but you get it. Eventually, this is going to be a chase figure in the next 5 to 10 years. We've seen that with Omega figures. We've seen that with many of the other non-popular Seiya figures. People hated it or nobody buys it. Eventually, once they run out of stock, all these figures become so rare because not a lot of people had them. So I do recommend it from that stocking point of view, and also from the uniqueness. This is one of a kind. So yeah, I do like it. I'll give this figure maybe 8.5 out of 10. I didn't like the joint. I like everything else. I think it could have come maybe with some extra accessories. I really don't care about those name tags and stuff. I wish they came with additional face expressions. There's only one facial expression, one head that's included. Usually, with Seiya figures, they usually have multiple face to choose from, like different expressions. So this is one of those things that are lacking. And also, they didn't do any like premiere release versions, if you know what I mean, like premium release versions. Like they have some extra gifts giving to those who bought it on pre-order or something like that. Sometimes it could be an extra accessory. Sometimes it could be an extra face expression. None of that. So those are some of the gripes I had, but still overall I like this figure. I will keep it in my collection. I think it's very unique. And yeah, here is my quick review on the Saint Seiya figure. I really like them, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye bye.